Hi everybody, how you doing? I reached out on my Instagram asking everyone to if they wanted to ask me any questions, and I was kind of aimed at to be more towards questions about life and kind of have more of a conversation with everybody rather than just to talk about music. As much as I love talking about music, I just kind of wanted to maybe get into some other stuff. And some of the questions were about music, which is cool. And I'm into it. But moving forward, I kind of wanted to make a point to like open up a dialogue with everybody about things that are, I don't know, more kind of conversational or less just about me singing songs. So a couple really cool ones came in. The first one being, what's my inspiration, or where do I get inspiration from? It's weird because it's really like I kind of want to answer that question, not about inspiration for music, more about inspiration for life. Like, what am I inspired by in general? And it's something I've been thinking a lot about. I do spend a lot of time talking or thinking about like what, why are we here? Where do we come from? Like beliefs and like higher power and trying to connect to that and staying connected to whatever that may be. And for me, I find some of that through music, and I find a lot of that in the ocean and nature, in the sea. Certain movies, there'll be certain like feelings I get. Like it could be like a fragrance, like a cologne, or perfume that I'm just super inspired by, and that's super nostalgic. Conversation. It's kind of why I'm doing this too. Is I get inspired by kind of sharing my point of view, and I think that I need to do that more often. I want to do that more often. It's so weird that this is like I find myself so talkative, but also so kind of like reserved in regards to the internet. But yeah, so my inspiration will come from a bunch of different places, right? Like music, obviously. If the question is slotted like where do I find my inspiration musically, or where do I find my inspiration for music, it's going to be through other music. But actually more than that, it's like the last record, What a Wonderful Time to Be Barely Alive, I wanted to, it's like soundtracking a feeling, right? It's like what's the tone of everything. So movies, traveling big time will inspire me, being in other places and having conversations with people, or seeing the way people dress, seeing the way people speak. I was recently at the airport and I got so inspired to really change parts about my life based upon this one guy's outfit. Like the way this one guy was dressed, he looked so fresh and physically like fresh. He was like dressed so clean, and he looked like he'd rested and felt so good. And I was in the airport just like sitting there after drinking and having, a big night, going like, what the fuck am I doing? Like what are we doing this for? This wasn't a vacation. Long story short, I'm inspired by traveling and the ocean and conversations with friends and connection. I think is really big for me. Someone asked what's my favorite song to sing. Um, hmm, Probably "Work It Out." I imagine a song I have called "Work It Out" that I do a like a sweet rendition of live. I don't play it the way I have it on the record. I do this kind of like pretty kind of heartfelt version of it. And that's probably my favorite song to sing, just because I could get to really like use my voice rather than it having to be really kind of contained. And yeah, it's not like a tone thing. I just get to kind of like wail, and I enjoy doing that. Another question is what are other bands I've worked with? A lot, a lot. And I think it was Other Than the Neighborhood. So maybe you found me through them. So I worked with them and a lot of kind of other local bands. I do a lot of writing. So I've written with like a bunch of different people. With this band Mating Ritual, I used to write with a lot. And this girl Zolita was a friend of mine, and Zylo was a friend of mine. I worked with, you know, Aluna George. I've worked with the lead singer of Sundara Karma. I've worked with Uffy. I've worked with, I'm working now with Suki Waterhouse, this girl Quen Blackwell, yeah, a variety of people. But probably The Neighborhood would be my favorite. If I know that wasn't part of the question, but favorite people to work with, just because of our friendship. It kind of makes it easy. Someone asked me a good question that I really like. It was definition of friendship, which is sweet. What is the definition of friendship? I think the definition of friendship is caring, I think. Right, when you really care about someone and you really look after someone. I think to me that would probably be, no, but it's more than caring, isn't it? Gotta be, I don't know. The definition of friendship. So I really try to look after people, and I check on my friends. I pick up the phone and call a lot. That's just something that I do. And that's a part of my definition of friendship, rather than just like people I'm friends with, but like a true friendship is, clear communication, honesty, and I think, yeah, clear communication, honesty, and intention. I think, like, what's your intention of this relationship? Is it like a transactional relationship, or is there a real friendship here? And I think that's what would define, those answers define a friendship to me. Someone asked how I decided to go from Holiday to Noise. So I didn't really do that. Jane Holiday so Jane's my last name, right? And I've kind of always toyed with different names around that. And Jane Holiday was a kind of a character that I'd created. It's kind of like cigarette smoking, boot wearing, Hollywoody kind of character. And I kind of felt like I outgrew that a bit. And I felt like what my interests as a human didn't align with the interests of that character. And it was kind of almost like kind of gross to me to kind of try to, because the character and the person kind of started to clash a little bit or cross over. And I'm not that character at all anymore. And I didn't want that character to become my person, I think. So Noise is just my Instagram handle, because it's like, Jane, instead of Jane Music or something, it was Jane Noise. It used to be Raj Noise if you're like really, really OG. So yeah, it's just Jane, and I switched to that because the name kind of had like a blank canvas. It's very neutral sounding. It's just my name, and I could kind of create what I want under that and always feel proud, because when you make a band or a project, you brand it with something, right? And it's like, if you make a project when you're 22 or whatever, when you're much younger than you are, and you're really into fucking Pink Butterflies, but at 28 you're like, yo, those are the dumbest things ever. I don't want to be, you don't want to associate yourself with something that you make when you're so young. And so that was kind of the switch. I was kind of over that character, and I just wanted to kind of be content with myself. So that's where that came from. Do I believe in parallel universes? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I do, because I believe in spirits. So I would imagine that falls under a parallel universe. So yeah, I believe in like other realms. I believe in God and that kind of whatever your higher power would be. I believe in that. So yeah, I guess I do. What inspires me to make music? Probably listening to music and going, okay, yeah, I want to do that too. Or going, I can make that, or there's things that I make because I haven't heard it yet. And I think that's kind of the joy, or the inspiration comes from that. And what does my logo mean? My logo is the sun, and it's kind of a play off of an earlier question, which was deciding from Jane Holiday to Jane Noyes. The logo of the logo being the sun is kind of like I really fell in love with the daytime rather than the nighttime, and the Jane Holiday project was really kind of like covered in the night, and it was like really late nighty and party and drinky and all of that. And this, Jane, this kind of next phase of my life is really interested in the daytime and outside in the ocean and not being up late. So that's why I kind of wanted to use the sun as my logo, almost as like a reminder or kind of an embodiment of this person that I feel more connected to or more proud of. So that's why the logo is the sun. All right. Well, this definitely won't be the last time I do anything like this. So please, if you have any more questions, or leave them in the comments, and I'll definitely answer them. I want to make more videos like this, so ask me more questions. All right. Peace. Thank you.